Hello, welcome channel. Today we will dive into the spine-chilling next week preview for the week of October 27th to 31st, where Salem's shadows come alive with Halloween horrors, shocking betrayals, and resurrections that could unravel everything we thought we knew. As the crisp autumn air in Salem thickens with the scent of falling leaves and flickering jack-o'-lanterns, the week kicks off with a pulse-pounding rescue that leaves everyone breathless. Picture this. The town square, transformed into a haunting Halloween wonderland with cobwebs draping the ancient statues and distant echoes of eerie laughter from costumed revelers. Alex Kyriakis, ever the heroic figure with his sharp instincts and unyielding loyalty, spots danger lurking in the form of a shadowy assailant cloaked in mystery. Kat Green, vulnerable and caught off guard amid the festive chaos, becomes the target of a sinister stab from someone disguised in a pristine lab coat that gleams unnaturally under the orange glow of street lamps. In a split-second blur of motion, Alex lunges forward, his voice booming like thunder as he shouts for Kat to duck and weave away from the blade's deadly arc. The attack, timed perfectly with the stroke of midnight on All Hallows' Eve, sends ripples of terror through the crowd, but Alex's quick thinking turns the tide, pulling Kat from the brink and into the safety of his protective embrace. This harrowing encounter not only tests Alex's mettle, but also reignites old flames of connection, forcing Kat to confront the fragility of life in a town where enemies hide behind every mask. As the dust settles from the scuffle, whispers spread like wildfire. Could this be the work of a vengeful spirit tied to Salem's darkest secrets, or a calculated move by someone closer to home? The incident sets a tone of unrelenting suspense, reminding viewers that in Salem, even celebrations can cloak unimaginable threats. Meanwhile, across the dimly lit corridors of the DiMera mansion, Stephanie Johnson grapples with a web of deception that's as intricate as the family crest etched into its stone walls. Disguised as the enigmatic Anastasia Sands, Stephanie has basked in the intoxicating glow of anonymous fame, her online persona captivating audiences with tales of glamour and intrigue that mask her true identity. But now, as the Halloween moon casts elongated shadows through the grand windows, she's poised on the edge of revelation, her heart pounding with the weight of what comes next. In a tense private meeting in the mansion's opulent library, surrounded by leather-bound tomes and flickering candlelight, Stephanie confides in a close ally about her internal turmoil. She cherishes the freedom her alias provides, the way it shields her from the prying eyes of Salem's judgmental elite, and allows her to wield influence without the baggage of her Johnson family legacy. Yet, the pull to unmask herself grows stronger, driven by a desire for authenticity amid the mounting pressures of hidden truths bubbling to the surface. This confession spirals into a chain of events fraught with peril. Anonymous messages begin flooding her inbox, laced with veiled threats that hint at a stalker shadowing her every move, their digital footprints leading straight to the doorstep of Jeremy Horton. The town buzzes with speculation as fingers point accusingly at Jeremy, painting him as the culprit who's unraveling her carefully constructed facade out of jealousy or spite. But in a twist that shatters assumptions, Stephanie uncovers the first cracks in this narrative during a clandestine late-night rendezvous at the pier, where the crashing waves mirror her churning emotions. Piecing together fragmented clues, like a misplaced DiMera embossed envelope and a whispered, overheard conversation, she realizes Jeremy's innocence, his alibi ironclad from a verifiable alibi tied to a charity event across town. The real architect of the exposure? None other than DiMera, whose ruthless ambition knows no bounds. With his piercing gaze and silver tongue, EJ orchestrates the leak in a bid to manipulate alliances and consolidate power, his motives rooted in a long-simmering grudge against the Johnson clan that dates back to boardroom battles and personal vendettas. As Stephanie races against time to connect the dots, perhaps consulting a trusted confidant over steaming mugs of coffee in a secluded cafe, the betrayal deepens the chasm of distrust, forcing her to question every alliance in her circle. This saga of identity and intrigue builds to a crescendo, exploring themes of vulnerability in the digital age and the high cost of fame, leaving Stephanie forever changed as she navigates the fallout of unmasking not just herself, but the enemies pulling strings from the shadows. DiMera, that master of manipulation with his tailored suits and calculating smirk, isn't content to stop at one revelation. He's brewing a storm of schemes that could engulf the entire town in chaos. From the sterile confines of the newly renovated hospital, where the hum of fluorescent lights mingles with the scent of antiseptic, EJ sets his sights on Leo Stark, whose insatiable curiosity has him poking around restricted wings like a fox in a henhouse. Leo, with his flamboyant flair and quick wit, stumbles upon locked doors and encrypted files that scream foul play, his investigations fueled by a mix of boredom and a nose for scandal that could rival any Salem tabloid. But EJ, ever vigilant, catches wind of the intrusion through a network of informants planted like weeds in the hospital staff, and he wastes no time plotting countermeasures. In a shadowy boardroom confrontation, illuminated only by the glow of a single laptop screen, EJ corners Leo with irrefutable evidence of his trespassing, his voice dripping with menace as he warns of consequences that could strip away Leo's fragile freedom. This clash escalates into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, with Leo dodging surveillance cameras and forging unlikely alliances to stay one step ahead, all while EJ tightens the noose with legal threats and whispered bribes to key witnesses. Deeper in the underbelly of EJ's machinations lies Mark Green, the once respected doctor now teetering on the edge of redemption or ruin. Lured by promises of cutting-edge science and financial salvation, Mark has thrown his lot in with a clandestine research project funded by DiMera coffers, signing a non-disclosure agreement that's as binding as chains in the dim laboratory where beakers bubble with unknown serums. The experiments, shrouded in secrecy and conducted under the cover of night, delve into uncharted territories of human enhancement and genetic tinkering, with Mark's skilled hands assisting in procedures that blur the line between miracle and monstrosity. Yet, the specter of Statesville looms large. One misstep, a leaked result or ethical breach, could catapult him back behind bars, his medical license revoked and reputation in tatters. EJ, sensing Mark's growing unease during a tense session amid whirring centrifuges and glowing monitors, dangles the carrot of immunity while wielding the stick of exposure, ensuring Mark's silence through a cocktail of intimidation and false reassurances. As the week unfolds, these lab-bound intrigues intertwine with broader DiMera ambitions, hinting at innovations that could rewrite Salem's power dynamics, from corporate takeovers to personal revivals. EJ's layered deceptions, analyzed through the lens of his family's storied legacy, reveal a man driven by legacy and loss, willing to gamble everything for dominance in a town where knowledge is the ultimate weapon. In a development that sends chills down the spines of longtime fans, the DiMera legacy stirs from its grave as Stefano DiMera's shadow threatens to eclipse the Halloween festivities. From the echoing halls of the DiMera crypt, where dust motes dance in shafts of moonlight filtering through cracked stained glass, EJ and his enigmatic brother Tony, or is it the cunning Andre in disguise, embark on a ritualistic quest to resurrect the Phoenix himself. The air grows heavy with incense and incantations as the brothers pore over ancient tomes and holographic projections of forbidden DiMera lore, their faces illuminated by the flicker of ritual candles. Tony's dual nature, a masterful performance by Theo Penglis that blurs the lines between ally and imposter, adds layers of paranoia. Is this the loyal Tony seeking to honor family bonds, or Andre's serpentine return to sow discord? Their efforts, fueled by cutting-edge tech fused with old-world mysticism, involve exhuming symbolic relics, a phoenix emblem etched in gold and vials of preserved essence from Stefano's heyday, culminating in a clandestine ceremony that crackles with supernatural energy. As bolts of ethereal light pierce the chamber, whispers of Stefano's voice echo through the stone, teasing a return that could be physical, digital, or something far more insidious, like a cloned consciousness uploaded into a new vessel. This resurrection plot, woven with twists that nod to classic days arcs, promises seismic shifts. Alliances fracturing under the weight of revived vendettas, and Salem's elite scrambling to either harness or halt the Phoenix's fiery comeback. The brothers' collaboration, fraught with sibling rivalry and buried resentments, delves into the psychological toll of defying death, offering a narrative mirror to the show's enduring themes of immortality and atonement. Back in the heart of the town square's Halloween revelry, the aftermath of Kat's near-fatal encounter blooms into moments of raw emotion and unforeseen bonds. As the assailant's footsteps fade into the night, Kat, her heart racing and costume torn from the struggle, instinctively seeks solace in the sturdy arms of DiMera. Chad, with his brooding intensity and unwavering resolve, pulls her close amid the swirling fog from dry ice machines, their eyes locking in a gaze that lingers far beyond the chaos, stirring embers of a connection long suppressed by duty and circumstance. This intimate respite, set against the backdrop of carved pumpkins and ghostly decorations, becomes a pivotal beat in their evolving story, where vulnerability cracks open doors to unspoken desires and shared histories. But lurking in the periphery, young Thomas DiMera watches with wide-eyed horror, his innocent world shattering like fragile glass. Dressed as a pint-sized knight in shining armor, Thomas freezes at the sight, his mind reeling from the violence and the tender embrace that follows, igniting a storm of confusion and rage within his young heart. Could this be the trigger for another of Thomas's explosive outbursts, reminiscent of past episodes where his emotions boil over into unpredictable fury? The preview hints at a deeper shock for the boy, perhaps tying into Kat's mysterious past or the resurfacing memories of his sister Rachel, whose trauma-fueled recollections are accelerating like a runaway train. Rachel, haunted by fragmented visions of accidents and betrayals, teeters on the brink of losing control entirely, her outbursts manifesting in reckless decisions that endanger those around her. In a climactic sequence, a life-threatening ordeal erupts. Envision a crumbling bridge during a stormy night chase or a sabotaged vehicle careening toward innocence, with Rachel at the epicenter, her actions spiraling into a vortex that pulls family and friends into peril. This narrative thread, rich with psychological depth, examines the ripple effects of unresolved pain on the next generation, blending heart-wrenching drama with edge-of-your-seat suspense as Thomas and Rachel's paths collide in ways that could redefine the DiMera clan forever. As the week of October 27th to 31st hurtles toward its explosive close, Salem pulses with shocking news that shatters complacency and dramatic confrontations that bare souls to their core. From the hospital's hidden labs to the crypt's forbidden rites, every corner of town vibrates with danger, pulling characters into a maelstrom of revelations and risks that test loyalties and ignite passions. Stay tuned to us for every twist in these perilous developments, because in days of our lives, the line between trick and treat is thinner than ever.